Hey everybody, guess who's back? It's me, not so plump, Eric here. How's everybody doing? It's been a while, yes, I know. Okay, stop yelling at me. I took a little break, yes, but I'm back. Gonna give you an update here. I'm gonna try and keep this moving so I don't end up with an hour long, welcome back video. So we are currently at week 55 post-op of my vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And yes, I have had a surgiversary, my first surgiversary, 1 year surgiversary, June 22nd, 2012. I was 1 year post-op. On 2011, I started my journey at 401 pounds. That was actually the day of surgery. I actually started my journey at 462 pounds. Lost 61 pounds prior to surgery. So I was 401 at the time of surgery. As of my surgiversary on June 22nd, I was down to 297.2 pounds. And that gave me a total loss after surgery of 103 pounds, basically. So yes, I was able to lose over 100 pounds in a year, which put my total loss at 165 pounds. I know, it's amazing. When you finally reach this point and then you look back, and obviously this is going to be kind of like my retrospective of the past year of my journey. Uh, it's just astonishing. When you're going through it, it seems like it takes forever, and it doesn't seem like you're ever losing enough weight. But when you hit your milestones, that's when you really, really can see the progress and how much this has paid off. So my current weight now at week 55, I am at 287 pounds. Yes, I am under 300 pounds, well under 300 pounds now, and still losing. I'm still averaging right now between 2 to 3 pounds a week, I'd say, give or take. Although, through this whole journey, those of you who've been following me long term know my weight is a yo-yo. It's not consistent every single week that I lose 2 to 3 pounds, though more times than not, now that I know where my calorie range needs to be, uh, I am consistently losing that, and I keep exercising. I still go to boot camp, try to get in 3 days a week at least. I had been doing kickboxing even for a little while, and also jazzercise. Those have kind of fallen to the wayside only because I now have a job again, and so I've been working crazy hours and can't fit everything into my schedules. But I'm still doing the boot camp. Oh, can't talk. Still doing the boot camp 3 times a week when I can. Um, Always getting in at least twice a week. Sometimes I can't make the third week, depending on how my schedule turns out. And yeah, so, and then, just doing as much exercise on my own as I can too in between. So that's where I'm at now, currently sitting at week 55, 287 pounds. I have gone from a 3XL and 4XL shirt down to an extra large and a 48-50 pant size down to a 42 waist currently, maybe even 40. I don't know, because I had put a couple of extra notches in my belt so that I can extend the life of my pants some, because honestly, just this past summer, especially spring, summer, I can't keep up. I mean, I've pretty much emptied my closet of all my old clothes, it was the weirdest feeling to finally be having to get rid of the 3Xs and even the 2Xs because they were too big. Like, it didn't want to sink into my brain that, it was funny because I'll tell you a quick story here. Went into Target. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in smaller sizes now, so I can, shop at the department stores again instead of, big and tall man shop. So I go into Target, and immediately the first thing I grab is markdown hoodie, and I try it on, and I pick up the 2XL first. Just it's what I'm used to. So try it on. Of course, it fit. It was baggy. It was so loose, and I said, okay, this is just it's just so weird. I just can't get used to this. So then I pick up the extra large, put it on, zip it right up, and it fit. And I had room. And I was just like, oh my God, what just happened? I was almost in tears. I was just so happy because I just couldn't even believe it. It doesn't hit you until moments like that. At least it didn't for me. And it's still hard for me to fathom that I've gone this far in my journey, even though when I look at myself in the mirror, I see all this flabby skin still and think, oh my gosh, I still have so much work to do. But in reality, that flabby skin is not going to get any better because I exercise quite a bit and I'm pretty solid underneath. But, without surgery, there's just going to be some saggy skin. That's just my battle scar, I guess you could call it. It's just something that you have to deal with. So, and everybody's different. Everybody's composition is different. The way they lose weight is different. But, the majority of people that lose well over 100 and even 200 plus pounds, you're going to end up with some saggy skin, at least some. So don't think that you won't. It's just a fact of life. But if you're able to you know go through the surgeries, then there are corrective things that you can do to fix that over time. So basically, I will say though, looking back, definitely this is the best decision that I've ever made in my life. My health has done a complete 360-degree turn. I've gone from blood pressure pills and sleep apnea and CPAP machines and barely being able to get up and down stairs without being winded, let alone trying to do any form of exercise, to now doing full boot camp routines, like full hardcore boot camp routines, which is like circuit training or CrossFit or, something along those lines. And even my trainer was saying today, just what I can do now in comparison to when I started back in December is night and day. Just since December alone, when I started going to fit, I've lost 75 pounds. So, and my mobility, stamina, endurance, flexibility, balance, all of that stuff is just completely, completely different. I have improved in every level pretty much. So, if this is something that you pursue, it is so worthwhile. You just will not believe the difference in the quality of your life. I'm off blood pressure medication, no more CPAP. I feel great, and I feel like my limitations are just gone now. I've broken through so many barriers that I had before, and of course, in turn, it's improved my self confidence, everything. Just your whole outlook on things, your attitude, and again, everybody's different. I can only tell you how I feel, and just sharing my experience. So yeah, looking back, health-wise, definitely best decision I've ever made. I'm sure if I had not taken care of myself when I did, that by now I probably would have, had a heart attack or a stroke or something catastrophic, because I was well on my way. Um, I have countless non-scale victories every day, depending on what it is that you do. The biggest thing is just, you know, all the weight barriers, I guess, finally being under 300 pounds, it's like, summer furniture that sort of thing, before, where I would have to get specialty chairs or whatever, um, lounge chairs and whatnot. I always had to worry about whether or not I was going to fall through or break them, or whether the legs would be sturdy enough, um, swings, anything like that. Even, kayaks, boats, canoes, whatever, oh my God, am I going to be too heavy? Am I going to sink the thing? Blah, 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 blah. It's funny because I walked into a department store and was looking at the regular size camp chairs or whatever, and the weight limit on them is like 300 pounds. And, it's just so awesome to be able to just go in there and say, yeah, I can fit my butt in this chair and I don't have to worry about it breaking anymore. Or not like I did anyways. So those are just amazing, amazing things. And the fact that, I've pretty much had to get rid of my entire wardrobe. And it's funny because some articles of clothing, like hoodies and sweatshirts, you just love those, and they become like a part of you because you wear them so much, and especially when you're bigger, you wear these big, cozy but baggy, trying to hide all your rolls and everything else, and they become like a part of you, so to finally have to get rid of those is just, it's weird, because there's some kind of like emotional attachment to it, or at least it had been for me. So there's that too. But looking back, just things that I've learned, that I'll share with you from personal experience over the past year, is just the importance of attitude more than anything, because this is not a diet. That's right. I'll say it one more time. This is not a diet. This is a complete lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle choice, and you have to be willing to make that change. So for me and my perspective on this whole journey, it's mind over matter. It's mental. It's, you have to be there here first. You have to be willing to know that you are worth making this change, that you are worth a better quality of life. You are worth being healthy for. And you just have to go into it knowing that. And then you also have to be willing to follow the rules and follow the plan. I can honestly say I have done very little cheating and straying from the plan that my bariatric team put together. And I'm not telling you this because I'm trying to be a goody two-shoes or anything like that. I'm telling you this because for me, that's what's worked. And for me, that's what's helped. And so I just want people out there to know that you will have success if you follow the plan, you follow the rules, and that they're there for a reason, and it is to improve your health. Sometimes we don't all see it right away. It takes time. I mean, I have been pushing at this for over a year now, starting the journey on my own for a little over a year since surgery, since I've had my tool that helps me. But it's all up to you. The tool can be abused, and the tool can, is not an easy way out, as people who go through this know. It's harder for people who don't have the surgery to understand that. And I think that, that's the biggest thing that the community can do to help educate people, is to try and dispel that myth that having this surgery is the easy way out, because there are people who have had this surgery that have not had the results because they weren't able to follow the rules. The number one celebrity that I can think of off the top of my head, obviously, is Carney Wilson. And look, she's having a second surgery, band over bypass now, because the first tool alone was not helping her, and so now she's having to rely on a second tool. So that happens. So that's why willpower, mind over matter, persistence. Those are all important things that you have to learn over this journey, and just accepting the fact that, you're worth it, and that it's okay to focus on you for once, because nobody is going to care about you more than you can for yourself, bottom line. So, as supportive as, a significant other, partner, wife, husband, brother, sister, mother, father, etc., can be, they can only help you so much. But ultimately, it boils down to what you can do for yourself and what you want to do for yourself. So, those are things to remember, especially if you haven't had surgery yet or you're just starting out. But just realize that, this is worth it. You will not believe the difference, just even 10, 20 pounds makes, let alone 100, 120, 150, 200 pounds. It's been an incredible journey. It's been an incredible journey. But every day is a struggle. I'm not going to say that, I don't have my hang-ups. I will still be the first to admit to anybody that chips will always be my downfall. Even with the surgery, if I let myself go crazy, I could polish down a bag of chips in a heartbeat. I don't know, there's something about chips. I would take, something crunchy and snacky over cake and chocolate any day. So you have to be mindful all the time of what you put into your body. Then the other big thing is, as I've come up on a year, I've just learned not to stress over this. This is, like I said, a lifestyle change, not a diet. So life is up and down, no matter what you do, whether it be work, whether it be a relationship, whether it be spirituality, what have you. Nothing is perfect all the time. That just doesn't work for people, because we're not. And you have to look at the weight loss journey the same way. So there's going to be ups and downs, and that's life. And you just need to know that you know now how to correct the bad situation. You know now how to not let it get out of control. And you have that power and that ability to take control over that to an extent, So I guess for me, another recommendation is just learn to enjoy the journey. It's like new self-discovery, everything from what you can drink to what you can eat, discovering what tastes good, and what you can tolerate and what you can't, because everybody's different, every surgery is different, and everybody's reactions post-op and everything else are different. But learning to enjoy that, don't stress if you go have ice cream and cake at a birthday party, and you gain a couple of pounds in a week because you weren't feeling well and you couldn't exercise. But if that scale goes up, that you can get back on track. You just push yourself forward again, Couple pounds gets on, okay. You know why. You just get back to doing the right thing again, and the weight will come down again. So it's all a matter of looking at it as you have control over the situation, and just enjoy it, from here on out. I don't stress over the weight anymore. I know what I need to do to get it down. I was freaking out during that period of time, and you can go back and look at my videos. I went through a period of time where I was stalled out for months and months and months, because the advice that I got was a little bit off. And, that's the other thing. Remember that this program is a guide, and that a lot of what the doctors and the surgery centers tell you, it's a guide, and it doesn't work 100% for 100% of the people all the time. You kind of have to play with it a little bit, staying within the rules and the guidelines, but find out what works for you. Like, I found out that going to from 800 calories a day up to 1200, 1400 calories a day, despite the amount of exercise I was getting, was not working for me. It did not keep the weight from coming down. If I want to keep my weight moving, then I need to keep my calories at 800 a day, despite what I'm doing for exercise. So that's what works for me. Um, I have not had a 1 year checkup or blood work to know what my results were, but the last time that I did, which was like around the 10-month mark, everything was fine. I'm very faithful about making sure I get my protein in as, best I can, and vitamins, and all my levels were good the last time I was checked. I feel great, and that's the important thing. Um, I do check my blood pressure consistently at home. That has remained perfect. And the only reason that I have not gone for my 1 year checkup yet is because my job is currently part-time. I don't have any benefits and therefore no insurance. So I have not been able to do anything in that department. But I'm pretty sure that I would feel off, or I would feel something if my levels were way off. I'm really, really careful about that. The other thing is we're having really, 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 really hot spells this summer. Make sure you are staying hydrated. You should anyways, but especially during these heat waves, you need to make sure that you are constantly getting some supply of water into your system, whether you're just sipping, sucking on an ice cube. I mean, even a popsicle, as long as it's sugar-free, something to get some water fluid into your body that's not caffeine, because the caffeine is just going to dehydrate you. But very important to make sure that you're staying hydrated, especially during this warm weather. And then, of course, the exercise. You got to push. You got to push. It wasn't easy for me in the beginning, but it gets easier. It gets much easier. And as the weight comes off, you would not believe the difference that 5 and 10 pounds, each month or so, or each couple of weeks makes. And then things get even easier. So in the beginning, it's really hard, depending on where you're at. But you can do it, because I was, believe me, in horrible, horrible shape. But I pushed through, and now, wow, it's just night and day. So those are my suggestions looking back, in this retrospective of my journey. And I just thought I would share them with you. And yeah, so things are going really, really well. Still losing, slow and steady. I'm only 25 pounds now from being 200 pounds down, which would put me right around my first personal goal, because I wanted to get down to about 260, 270, and then see how I looked and felt from there. I would love, love, love just to be able to go for a consult to see what the difference would be surgery wise, for plastics, because I'm guessing that between my chest and my stomach, that I probably could easily have 30 pounds of skin and tissue removed, which, if I had that surgery done right now at my current weight, I'm like about 285 right now, so that would put me down at 255 like instantly after the surgery and everything else. So I can't even imagine that. That is, I mean, I'm back to my like high school weight right now. Um, so yeah, so plastics is the next big thing that's on my mind. Although I'm trying not to think about it too much. Um, it kind of scares me more than the than the weight loss surgery itself. I know that it's a little bit riskier in way of possibly running into infections and that sort of thing, and blood clots everything else. I think that the risk is a little bit higher for plastic surgery for those types of complications, unfortunately. Um, and then I think that the pain is probably going to be a little bit worse too. It's going to be a little bit longer healing wise and everything else, because I think that when you have surgeries that affect your external, that it takes a little bit longer, and you're also probably a little less mobile. Whereas, I don't know, I think you just heal faster from the inside out. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap things up. We've already almost hit 30 minutes, but I will try and keep updating you guys as best I can. I'm sorry for taking such a long break, but it was kind of needed, and just wanted you all to know that I'm doing well, and I appreciate more than you know the support, the love, the encouragement, and everything else, and just being able to share my journey with all of you too, who have gone through this and have hit your 1 year, 2 years, and everything else I've been following for the past couple of years. You guys are awesome, awesome, and you're all rock stars to me. So everybody stay strong and stay healthy, and until next time, I will catch y'all later. Bye, guys.